So the tulips, the whole sign is fairly simple to make. You take your wood round, put 2 coats of whatever color you'd like. I gave you white, but you could mix some stuff up if you'd like. And then the tulips, I'll show you a bigger picture, fit like almost like a puzzle piece directly on the bottom. And then there's a hello for the above the tulips. So you should put 2 coats on the round and 2 coats on the hello of whatever color you'd like. And I am really going to show you how to paint the tulips, which are fairly simple too. But I'll show you how to add some highlights and all that fun stuff. So I have my tulips here, and what I'm going to do before I paint the top of the tulips, I'm going to paint the green on the bottom. So I'm just going to take some green paint, and I'm just going to start painting the greens on the tulips. So I put my first coat down. I'm just going to go back and do a quick second coat. So I finished my second coat, and while that second coat is still drying, what I'm going to do is I cleaned my brush, and I am just going to put like some white, especially where like this section shows overlapping green. So I'm going to put some white in that section, and then I'm going to brush it in, kind of blend it, just so it shows it's not one solid color. There's multiple colors of green. So I'm just like on some of the leaves, I'm just going to put a little lighter and then blend it in. There, I have my green. So I just added a little white to show some difference between the sections, get some different color greens in there. You could also mix a little bit of the green with the blue if you want to make a darker green. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to wash out my brush and dry it. And I'm going to start painting my flowers. Now my flowers I'm going to keep pink, and I'm going to add red and white highlights, but I also gave you a little yellow. If you want to add like a little yellow highlight, you can make them all different colors too. That'd be pretty. So I am just going to take my pink I have a little lighter pink than you guys, but I'm gonna take my pink and I'm gonna put like 2 light coats of pink on my flowers. I do 2 light coats because I still want to see like all that definition, all those lines. So my paint is pretty thick, so I'm actually adding a little water to my paint just to thin it out because I want to see all those little lines. And I'm going to put 2 thin coats on. If you get a little on the green, that's fine because you could just paint green over it in a little bit. Just to thin out some of the paint in some of the areas, I'm just putting a little water on top. So then when it dries, hopefully I can see my lines. I let these 2 blank because I'm going to make a little darker pink. So I'm going to take some pink and add a little red to it, just so I have different colors in there too. A little water to it as well. So get a little deeper pink. So I gave it my first coat, so I'm going to go back to my original ones I did, and I'm just going to quickly do a second coat. Once again, we want it to be thin, so if you need to add a little water to your brush, go for it. And I'm just adding paint like where I need, around some of the edges you'll need a little paint. So I did 2 coats of the pink on each one. And what I'm going to do now, you could see that the darker pink, it had less white in it. So you could see the lines a little better. And as those light ones dry, you'll be able to see those lines a little more. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to put some red accents in each of the flowers. So I'm just going to I'm going to start at the bottom. I'm going to start with this middle pink one. And I'm just going to put, with my brush, a tiny bit of paint. I'm just going to put some, and it's good if your paint is still a little wet. I'm going to just brush some red into the bottom of those flowers. If you want to blend it a little bit, you can put a little water on your brush to blend. So then it just is a little darker towards the bottom, and I'm going to do that for almost all of them. So a little red, and I'm just going to blend with a little water on my brush. Blend with water. I'm going to do that to each flower. So red, and then you just blend with water on a cleanish brush. And it gives you a nice little blend. That way the flowers have a little more dimension to them. Once you're finished, I like how my flowers look. I'm gonna keep them at that. But once you're finished with your flowers, you can keep on working with them. You could add white as highlights. I'm not gonna get too crazy. I'm gonna wash out my brush once I'm finished. And I am just gonna go back with some green, and especially fix wherever like the flower meets the green. You might just have to go over it a little bit. Perfect those lines. Then once you're finished with your flowers and painting your round and your hello, you're basically going to let everything dry, and then you could glue it all together. When it's dry, you could use any glue that you have. Elmer's wood glue. Don't use hot glue, it doesn't work that well, but you could use any glue that you have. Glue it, let it dry for a couple hours, put the wire through the holes, and then you could hang up your sign as a door hanger or a little home decor. So I'm gonna let my flowers dry, and then when everything's dry, you put it together with some glue. It's a fairly simple sign to do, but I hope you guys had fun. I hope you guys experimented a little with color. Even if you do each tulip a different color, I think that would look pretty. So I hope you guys have a great spring and a happy Mother's Day.